And it was later in my life that I was introduced to The Secret. I started to understand, Dr. B, the power of metaphysics. I can want something and repeat it over and over and over, like energy attracts. I teach the cognitive reframing tools that are immersed in programs like emotional control, focused performance, becoming elite in the mind, to develop a champion's mindset, all through the background of hypnosis. I was always intellectually in command of my message when I had the opportunity. I was always ready. So that helped me succeed a lot. But in order to succeed, you must fail. And I failed a lot.
All right, welcome to another just amazing edition of the Journey to Freedom podcast. And I'm Dr. B. I'm your host, and every time I get to do these, I'll be going through my day, Jason, and I will, things will happen. I kind of get stressed, and then it comes to do podcast time. I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this podcast done. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it or get it done at the time everybody wants it to get done. And then I start thinking about the conversation that I'm getting ready to have with you. And that all the stress goes away because I just get excited about learning about somebody else and learning what they did in their life and the things that they do. Today, Jason and I were talking before the show, and he talked about love, and he talked about this vibration of love that I can't wait to dive into. And, these things that God gives us when we are born, that if we figure out how to use, and let go and let God do what He designed us to be able to do, we are going to be in such a place that sometimes we feel like we can't get to. And so, Jason, I can't wait to talk to you about that. Journey to Freedom is about helping men, and it's about, I was talking to somebody the other day, and he goes, well, and I don't know if I just kind of misspoke, because my coaching program, all the videos I put up, all the things that I do are about helping people become the person that God designed them to be, to help them be in purpose, to do what God put them on this earth to do. And, one of the things when Journey to Freedom came about, it was helping people get unstuck, or see other people who are successful so that then we can be successful as well. And so, it just was crazy when I started thinking about that, because he said, well, I'm not stuck, so why would I want to be on your podcast? I said, well, it's not just about, it's those who are doing well that are giving back to the community who are still trying to figure it out. And you obviously are doing well if you're not stuck and you're doing all the things you want to do. And this happens to be a high net worth individual that, I know he's made a couple $1 million just in the last year. And, he's got 100 properties and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, you're the person who needs to be on my podcast to be able to inspire others, not so that I can help you be unstuck. So it was just that funny conversation. So I wanted to just make sure that, I brought that up. But Jason, thank you for being on. Thank you for taking your time out today. I've asked, I'm going to ask you, like I asked all my guests, to tell your story, to tell exactly what it was that made you you. Sometimes we get stuck into talking about, this is what I do, and we don't ever get to talk about who I am. And I think when we think about, when I think about relationships, and I think about like why God put us on this planet, I think he thought more about the who than what it is that we do. When I read the Bible or I read characters from the past, it's we learn about who they are, and then we find out more about what they do. But very rarely do we just hear about what they do. I mean, you might hear, Matthew was a tax collector. But then it tells all about Matthew, tells all about himself, and it's amazing when we really are able to talk about who we are. And so please tell your story. Again, thank you for being on, and then we'll chop it up with some of our pillars right after that.
Sure, Dr. B, and thank you for inviting me to Journey to Freedom. And for the gentleman who wondered why he needed to come on your show, most successful people do very, very well. But the ultra successful people have a coach, but they'll never tell you that. I just wanted to make that point. But there are levels and phases of my life of who I was. and what then I became. So I'm gonna categorize that in this was my job versus my career. Around 9 years old, when I think about how I came to be to what I'm doing currently, I grew up in the Methodist church. I was always fascinated with the stars and fascinated with the planets. And I would be in church and these routines of praying and then standing up, invocation, and then sitting down, and then the money tray comes through, and then you do that. And then right before the pastor, right before the choir sings, maybe you'll stand up again and get another prayer, and then you sit down, and then the pastor preach, and then when he gets ready to finish, you stand up again. And so this routine, but I always wondered young, I mean, I'm 9 years old, 8 years old, like, where is God? Like, we're here every Sunday. I'm in Sunday school. I know he's somewhere, but I never grasped that. Where was he? And my mom was like, he's everywhere. And so that fueled me, that curiosity to try to understand this feeling of this all-purpose, this almighty source. And that fueled my, genius and my curiosity of wanting to know about the planets and the stars. And it was later in my life that I was introduced to The Secret. Leanne Rimes and Dr. Bob Proctor and all these brilliant people. And I'm looking at The Secret. I was introduced by my sister. And then I started to understand, Dr. B, the power of metaphysics. I'm like, oh, so that I can want something and repeat it over and over and over, like energy attracts. So I started to practice doing this. I started to vision board. I started to do all these things, and it just fascinated me at such a level that it helped me move into the career I'm in right now. But let's talk about my jobs.
All right.
Parallel to this, I was a sports agent for a number of years, for 13 years with the NFLPA, then in the Canadian Football League and the NBA PA, represented a number of players. I also played in the Canadian Football League as a professional football player, played at Texas A&M University. So I University of Nevada, Las Vegas, athlete, then started a construction firm that was a multi-million-dollar company, helped found a food company that was a multi-million-dollar company. This businessman, this young guy making moves, doing this, doing that. And then one day, COVID-19 hit. I developed all these relationships with ISDs, independent school districts, contracts, the ultimate expert at project management. I'm also a project management professional, PMP. And all of a sudden, COVID-19 hit, and God shifted me away from the outside world, the hustle, the bustle, the ego, the human ego that drives the conscious mind, and it drives the evil in men. It drives the division, the me, the I. And I started to move away from this corporate environment and pick it up parallel, learning metaphysics, learning how to be within myself, learning how to meditate, learning how to be still. And my career started, Dr. B, when I started to understand that the subconscious mind is a powerful thing. Reorganizing the brain, they call it neuroplasticity, is a powerful thing. Creating new neural pathways in the brain, they call it a powerful thing. And in my coaching program, I'm also a mental performance coach. I'm double certified at it. And in my coaching program, I teach these type tools, the cognitive reframing tools that are immersed in programs like emotional control, focus performance, becoming elite in the mind, to develop a champion's mindset. all through the background of hypnosis. I'm a certified hypnotherapist. I'm a level 2 quantum healing hypnotherapist. These different modalities, remote viewing, also working with transcendental meditating. All these different things became my career once God asked me to move away from this job, these things that defined me, and then move more towards just being. So that's how I started. That's what I matriculated to. And now here I am today, working in a number of different spaces, a number of different modalities. I've written a best-selling book, Empowered by Consciousness. Also, I've written another 3 ebooks, 2 on recidivism, and one is the mental game plan, a comprehensive guide for athletes and coaches to learn and understand mental performance tools.
Wow, man, where do I even start? This is so good. I would love to maybe we'll just start with identity. Because you talked about the identity of a 9-year-old who's just going, who am I? I can't find God anywhere because I don't see him. And we talk about him and we're doing all this stuff. Then you move into probably the identity of a professional athlete and what that brings. And now you move to the identity of a business person, and then you switch all that. Maybe kind of talk about those roles of how identity of who you believed you were played in your ability to be successful. Because one of the commonalities or the common denominators that I see in your story is there's success after success after success. And it doesn't matter what you touch, you figure out a way to be successful at it. So what is that identity, or how was that identity developed that allowed you to do that?
Well, the identity was developed by being relentlessly motivated, and having a level of mindset that was instilled in me by a coach. And that's why therapy versus coaching, there's a difference. There's nothing wrong with therapists. Absolutely nothing. But there's a different connotation when you have been trained by a coach, more endearing, more you relate to it better. You're proud of my coach. Not a lot of people talk about my therapist helped me. It's just not cool. So I was coached in this environment of work, relentless, be the best, be a good teammate. That translated into my professional career, and I outworked people, Dr. B. I outworked people, I out-networked people. I then developed this charm, this frequency about me, that the frequency of my conversation, and I smiled a lot and people liked me, but I was well studied. I was always intellectually in command of my message. When I had the opportunity, I was always ready. So that helped me succeed a lot. But in order to succeed, you must fail. And I failed a lot. I failed more. Once God told me to step away, I started to fail a lot. You know, I was being tested with this new business of self-help, this new understanding of spirituality. And how does this play into monetizing without understanding that it's for the greater good of all? So this identity was fluctuating, but I was being still. I was allowing myself to just be within myself, reaching levels of peace and quietness so that I can hear God's voice. And I got to a point where my intuitiveness was so strong, Dr. B, that I could see the synchronicities that were moving in my life, and I knew which direction to move in. And that allowed me to continue to understand what my identity was and how to be within myself
Hey, it's Dr. B, and let me ask you something just here real quick. Are you tired of doing the same thing over and over and not getting the results you want? Are you serious about making some changes this year that will impact you in a huge way? Maybe you're putting out content right now and it's not turning into customers, or maybe you're uploading videos, but you're not sure why or how it's even gonna help. I've seen a lot of people that are making a whole bunch of cold calls to the wrong people, and no one's answering. No one wants to talk to you. It might just be that you're just doing what you've been doing and crossing your fingers, hoping it finally works this year. But let me tell you what, that is not a strategy, and it will continue not to work. That's why I created the Podcasting Challenge, and it's coming up fast. In just a few days, I'm going to walk you through the mindset, the tool set, and the skill set you need to create a powerful podcast. That's right, a podcast. You won't believe what a podcast can do. One that builds real value and creates new clients. And if you grab a VIP ticket, you'll get to join me for a daily Zoom Q&A sessions where I'll personally answer your questions and help you tailor everything to your goals. This is your moment. This is your year. Go to thepodcastingchallenge.com right now and save your seat. The link is in the show notes and the description. Thank you for watching these podcasts. Now let's get back to the conversation.
And not identify as, oh, I'm this and I'm that and I'm this. The conscious mind became, the conscious mind, which is the human ego, became less and less and less in control of my life.
Wow. There's a few things I just want to dive deep into that you just said, because I'm writing like a crazy notes right now because you just hit me in all kind of different levels. You brought up a coach versus a therapist. And I started thinking through that because I've been coaching track now for 38 years. And so I've had Olympians, I've had state champions in high school, and I'm at the high school now that I'm kind of finishing up at. And one of the things that I think about is when you're a coach, you're helping the person learn to be the best that they can be. And when you're a therapist, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, they've already identified something that might be a deficiency, and we're trying to bring up to take the deficiency away. But I don't know if therapists are actually saying, through these sessions, you're going to become the best you could possibly be. Am I right in that?
And that's the assessment. Right now, I coach cohorts, 1 month cohorts with the Harris County Supervision and Correction Department. And that is working in conjunction with the Gateway Foundation Correctional, that's their partner. Mm-hmm. And the first thing I tell the clients, that's how we refer to them that are in there in the correctional department, is that when we're talking the first day about what to expect in this mental performance class, this elite mindset course. Mm-hmm. The understanding is that I'm not a therapist, I'm a coach. Yeah. And it's like, okay, Coach Medlock. But the excitement when the word coach comes in gives this connotation of leader. He's going to help me. I'm going to learn something. Yes. I'm going to be trained to do something with love and with this unwavering care about you. Therapy, as you mentioned, let's find the hurt. We've identified the trauma. Now, can we bring it forward? And now let's deal with it. Yeah. Now, how do you feel when I ask you to do this? So when when you feel this way, just rely on what I've told you. Now, no disrespect, because therapy is good, but it's the cognitive understanding and how they parse the meanings of what they're proud of to say that they're associated with. And that's why I've come up with this pitch when I go into the city of Dallas, and I try to pitch them on helping firefighters deal with this, the trauma and the stress of the day-to-day. And I separate, they're already getting mental health services. I'm like, but no, I'm a coach, and let's tell you why. This is what I do. So I instill this level of confidence. I instill tools that this will help you. I'm with you on this journey, and I'm your old coach. And everybody that I know that hires coaches and put coaches in their life, it's a term of endearment. So it's a person who they trust. And they're proud of 30 years later. Man, oh shoot, I work with this coach, and you love your coach from a cognitive perspective. It churns differently with the mindset of most people.
Yeah. And I just keep coming back to like somehow with a therapist, you're broken and you need to be fixed. And they're coming in to fix you, right? And with the coach, no, I'm not broken. I need help in this area because I want to excel. You're going to help me. I think about like I can teach like an athlete how to hurdle, or I can teach a person how to high jump, or run around and the mechanics of what running good running form looks like. But 90% of my job when I'm coaching is this. It's the stuff that we talk about. It's not the actual mechanics of what we're doing, especially when you get to the elite level. When if I'm working with an Olympic athlete, they already know how to run. They already know how to jump. They already know how to hurdle, right?
And Dr. B, think about the way you coach your track guys. There go Dr. B, Coach B. He always has a story to tell us. He ties it into the way they're supposed. When I was doing this, let me tell you this story. Now, this is why I want you to do this. Coaches tell stories. Coaches give you inspiration. Coaches then they maneuver, and now here's the technique I want you to use. Here's the way I want you to do these hurdles. I remember when back in the day when such and such ran a 9.38, and he did this and he did that, but he listened. And son, you have the same characteristics. Coaches paint the picture of success.
Yeah.
Therapists, we try to figure out where the issue is and the trauma, 3 years old, 7 years, and here's what's happening. This is what you're holding on to, and we must let that go. It's more of a find and help you. Coaching is more endearing, it's more story-driven, and it's more now perform for me, make your old coach proud of you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love the how we're mixing that up, because I don't want to tell people, hey, if you're seeing a therapist, I'm not saying don't stop your therapy, because you may be a person who's not ready for the coach that's ready to show up, right? When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Or when the athlete is ready, or the person needs to be coached, the coach can appear. And there might be some things that you got to go through in your life, and the therapist might be able to help you to get to that point where now the coach can come in and then really work with you to hit, because it's that term. Because when you have that relationship with a coach, it's a totally different relationship. It's as you and I both know, and probably most of you guys do too, if you've ever been in that situation where you've had a coach, and the coach is so necessary in life. So thank you for the, kind of getting an identity. What I really, as we continue, to talk through some of these things. So we move into now you're really helping people. You've had some successful businesses. You're doing stuff. Now you're really thinking about the mental side of how we operate. What are some of the things that you found out that our minds are capable of doing that, because they say we only use a percentage of our minds to do whatever we do, but it's this most powerful tool that no other animal has, right? A cat is a cat, a horse is a horse, and a dog's a dog. They're going to do exactly what they were put on this earth to do. But the human mind, oh my gosh. What are some of the things that allowed you, because you're way further, like you started here, now you're like up here. I want you to jump back here a little bit and say, okay, this is some of the things that I learned right off the bat that allowed me to move forward.
I learned first to calm the mind using transcendental meditation, using quietness as the tool. And then a subset of that was controlling the breath. 6-2-8. Inhale for 6, hold for 2, exhale for 8. Inhale for 6, not fast, but a slow inhale, controlled. Hold for 2, exhale for 8, slowly. Don't just, you'll run out of breath. The controlling the breath gives you more clarity and it builds focus. So getting the breath work down and understanding how to use the breath in conjunction with quietening the mind, quietening your perspective. moving into transcendental meditation, 20 minutes per day, starting off doing 5 minutes, doing guided meditation off YouTube. Just get into the rhythm of controlling the body, the tempo, and moving yourself deeper and deeper and deeper into the state of transcendence. And once you are at that level of peace in the breath, you're able to control the breath, and you start to see that the subconscious mind and the abilities that it has, you're now able to sense this level of control. And then now you move to Dr. Joe Dispenza, Rewiring the Brain. You move to Dr. Bruce Lipton on how the wonders of the brain and what the brain can do. You understand that sound, frequencies, megahertz can change the mood of the body, the mood of the individual. And then you say, well, wait a minute, neuroplasticity, that fancy term for reorganizing the brain. You start to understand that you can rewire the brain by repetition, by creating new habits, by cognitive reframing from a moment of despair. And then you have these tools you introduce to help people reframe from negative self-talk to positive self-talk, and have you practice. And if you practice over and over, you've created new ways of thinking. You've created new neural pathways. But then prior to that, as we were talking about, all this begins with moving within yourself and slowing down and realizing the intelligence of the breath, and the power and the control of the breath, so that you can have this understanding of how to manipulate the brain. Now, in hypnosis, I use the technique, as most hypnotherapists, of shifting you to different brainwave states, into the theta brainwave state. And when I'm using a different type of hypnosis, which is quantum healing hypnosis, I'm moving you to the somnambulistic state, which is a deeper state of theta. In this state, you're almost asleep, but your conscience, the mind, is still awake. And so I can move you to different places. I can try to help relieve this stress, relieve this trauma, relieve this anger by having you in such a deep brainwave state. Then, Dr. B, I can make suggestions to you. We can suggest that you do this differently. And you said that you wanted to have a better relationship with your wife. Why do you continue to hit her? We're now moving that away from you, so that you will now begin to respect your wife. This is all at the subconscious, almost a sleep state, but I'm making these suggestions. So we know just from these snippets of things that I'm talking about, there are a lot of different ways that we can affect the mind.
Yeah. You use the word transcendence.
Yes.
Help me understand. You mean, I know the definition, right? But what does that, truly mean? Like when you say you hit this transcendent state, help me with that.
Transcendental meditation, TM, is a popular. This is the most popular form of meditation that you can reach. So when you are starting off, I'm going to give you the analogy of ocean water. When people start off, you hear everything in the room. You're trying to be quiet. Once you've done it for about 4, 5, 6 minutes, you move down and you can hear the bubbles. You can still hear the water. You can't hear the top part, but you can. And once you continue to transcend, that means to lower your state of awareness and move deeper within yourself. And once you continue to transcend deeper into this state of peace and relaxation, then you may hear just the marine noise. And the deeper level of transcendence that you get to is total peace, Dr. B. It's total quiet. And at that level, you can hear. You can become clairaudient. You can hear source delivering the messages. quietening the mind, quietening the body, the avatar that encases this being, this spiritual power that's made of light, sound, and love. You can receive messages that can help you move yourself into a different space in the life that you're living at the current time. So transcendence is simply moving yourself into this level of peace, this level of quiet, so that you can make decisions based on what you hear from whoever, Buddha, God, source, whatever you want to call the person that's your higher being in your life. You can hear from that perspective.
Wow. When you talk a lot and several times about breathing, and in everything we do, the amount of oxygen that we bring into our cells, that we fill everything in. And sometimes I don't know if that's part of the teaching. I mean, obviously, as a track coach or an athletic coach, you're teaching breathing techniques to fuel the body so it works properly. Can you give us some examples of how to begin the breathing process when you're feeding this incredible amount of oxygen to your brain so that it now has the ability to bring you down into the transcendence of peace? What are some ways to do that? I mean, I guess just maybe show us or tell us or
Well,
walk us through.
as a mental performance coach, the breathing techniques I'm teaching are to calm you down so that you can have more clarity, so that you can make better decisions, so that you can see the emotion coming in the game, at the block, in that your heart starts to race. We can do the 5-5, we can do the box technique, and you're right there at the blocks, and you close your eyes and inhale, go up, exhale, inhale, exhale. That's the box breathing technique.
Okay.
So that the pre-trial jitters slowly dissipate. Gotcha. But the longer you control the inhale or the exhale, it quietens the nervous system in the body. It calms the nervousness, and the clarity begins to come into focus in the body. I use breathwork techniques for athletes in my coaching program to only calm the body, to calm the mind, so that you can perform at peak performance. Now, as far as moving oxygen into the brain and making sure we have a good blood supply, that's not the way I use it. That's not my professional.
Why you're doing it. Okay.
Yeah, that's not why I do it. I do it for calmness, and I teach it in a number of different programs I have. The breath is so important, even when we're dealing with emotional control, even when you're too hyped. That's not good to be too hyped and too overly excited. It causes mistakes. It creates burnout, and it introduces fatigue. We have to always be even keel. We have to always have this sense of control of our breath while we're competing. And that's why I have the framework that I've created, that's a proprietary framework called RPMs. And the RPMs help you understand how to react. How am I reacting? How's my body acting? How am I moving? How am I poised? Am I slumped over? Or is my shoulders up high? How am I reacting? Pace. How's my breath? How's my energy? Am I breathing fast or slow?
Yeah.
Am I breathing slow or deep? Am I breathing heavy? How am I pacing myself? These are things that you're asking yourself as you're trying to cognitive reframe from the action that's happening at that moment. And what motivates me? That's the M. What motivates me to succeed? Why am I at the block right now about the race? What happened right before I succeeded? My mom in the stands, I'm about to win this race. And Dr. B, he been working with me all week. I got this. I'm at the starting line. I got this. Dr. B been working with me. Something happens right before you succeed. What motivates you? So I intertwine the RPMs in the cognitive reframing tools that I'm teaching them as a emotional regulator, as a wristband, as a button they can press that helps them recall only when they're feeling this pressure. They're feeling themselves moving into the yellow, moving into the red. Stay out of the red.
Stay out of the
because
red.
perception helps you determine how you view things. You're at the block. If you see red, break the glass and go get help. Anxiety, trauma, nervousness, that's red. That's the way we see. We have to move away from that. We have to stay yellow or green. Yellow is, I don't know, but I'm getting ready to run. Green, feel good.
I can't wait.
Even greater. Feel good first. And the amygdala in the back of the brain regulates our perception. So I teach my guys how to know when they're shifting from green to yellow, yellow to green, because you shift in football, you get knocked in your ass in a football game, you're going to go yellow. But how do I get back green? I never want my clients to be in the red.
Yeah.
Even when I'm coaching executives, even when I'm working with the clients that are in correctional facilities, I teach them the mental mechanics model, which was taught to me by Dr. Hansen. He's a world-renowned sports psychologist, worked with all the top baseball players in the world. And he taught me the mental mechanics model and how perception shifts from red to green to yellow. How to move yourself and keep yourself green. And we call green feel good first.
Well, and I can see this like I'm thinking of, two scenarios where you might jump into red, but if you've been practicing these techniques, you can get to green pretty fast. Let's say you're walking down the street and a snake jumps in the middle of the road. Boom, you're in red for a couple seconds or high yellow in a couple of seconds, because if you haven't dealt with that situation, that's immediate fear. Your body's taking over. It's saying, not the fight or flight, it's flight. We're going to get out of here. We're going to do the situation, unless you've done it 100 times and you know how to manipulate the snake. The other one is, okay, so now I'm walking down the street or I'm at my house and an earthquake happens. Now I have to, if I have these, I got to go, okay, now how do I manipulate making sure that everything is okay, that the safety for my family, that the things that I need to be doing. Now your brain has to be able to calm down, jump into that yellow or that green, and now you have the ability to be that leader in the situation that can make it better.
But Dr. B, how do you recognize what state you're in unless we coach them, Dr. B? That's why guys like us, it's so important. Mental performance, coaching, coaching at any level. They have so many names for it. Oh, I'm a mindset coach. I'm a lifestyle coach. Whatever it is you're coaching.
Yeah.
Okay. But we have to teach our young men and our young women to recognize these states.
Absolutely. And just, I start out with fear. True fear is a real and present danger right now.
Yes.
Everything else is anxiety. If you're afraid of public speaking, there is not a real and present danger happening right now. It might be that people don't like you or people are going to make fun of you, but that's not in danger. That's just the anxiety of worried about what somebody else thinks about you, not worried about if it's a true fear. And if you can get there, now we can work on things. If you can realize that, oh man, my life isn't over if I talk and they laugh at me. Or if I talk, but most likely they won't, because I'm thinking I'm thinking they're really thinking about me. In most cases, they're worried about themselves at the same time. So, but yeah, without working on these things and being able to recognize those states. Now, I do want to ask you about two different states that I think they're almost polar opposites. And I want you to help us understand the power of each of them. One of them is shame. And I think shame is like the worst emotion of all the emotions that are out there. It's how we feel so bad about ourselves because of whatever has happened. The other one is love. where we have the opportunity, and you kind of began to talk to me about love earlier today. Can you kind of just, say a little bit, maybe less about the shame and how do we move past that and not feel shame about things? Because I'm imagining with your inmate, your clients that are at the prison, I don't want to call them inmates, I want to call them clients, that there's a lot of shame in how they perceive themselves. And then you come in there with this love attitude. Oh my gosh, talk about it.
I'm going to hit real quickly on shame, and I'm going to give you a remedy for it.
All right.
Shame is the energy of this something that you're embarrassed about. You are allowing that energy to have a place in your life. And let's just say you pray about it and you bring it to the altar and you've gotten rid of it, and then it comes back.
Hello, this is Dr. B, and I want to ask you one simple question. What if you died having never become you? Now, I don't mean the version of you that worked the job, raised the kids, or chased security. I mean the person God actually designed you to be, the real you. Because there's a version of your life that's already been written, and it's full of peace, it's full of boldness, it's full of purpose, and of course it's full of power. But most people, many people, they miss it. They live distracted, doubting, disconnected, and deep down they wonder, is this really all there is? But not you and not today. That's why we created the Becoming the Person universe. It's a living, breathing community of people saying, I want to be who God called me to be. Not someday, but right now. So inside, we'll walk you through 3 levels of transformation. Level 1 is all about identity, where you finally see yourself clearly and know exactly who you are and who you need to become. Level 2 is about mastery, where we develop the disciplines to grow. And then finally, level 3 is legacy, where your life begins to matter beyond you. And hear me. I want you to hear me clear here. This is not a place to passively belong. This is a place to grow, lead, and thrive. We even have ways for you to share in the revenue as we grow, because we believe in building legacy together. And I want you to know the founders and I are praying for you. We have been praying for you. You have been on our hearts. Yes, you have been on our hearts. You're not watching this by accident. And I want to personally invite you to the next info meeting where we will go over all this community has to offer. All you have to do is just click the link before, you know what to do. But now it's your turn. I want to ask you to ask yourself, what if this is the moment everything changes? What if this is the reason you've been searching? What if all God has been waiting for is for you to say yes? There's a seat for you here, whether you're rediscovering yourself or finally ready to leave a legacy and are ready to contribute. Either way, this is the Becoming the Person universe. And once you're in, your life will never be the same. So I can't wait to meet you. I can't wait to spend time with you. I can't wait to see you on the other side. So let's go live in that purpose and let's do it together.
Once you're reminded of that situation, because it has a foothold in your life.
Yeah.
Because it feels like this energy, this negative energy of shame feels like it belongs. And I got that concept from my good friend, Beatty Carmichael, and that you have to totally give all these energies of eating too much, the bad energy of cursing, the energy of shame cannot take residence in your body because it feels like it has a right to be there. You have to totally denounce it and continue to repent and move away from all the things that could be giving it this power. Now, the way I deal with shame is teaching my clients the power of self-awareness, understanding your past, present, and future. Well, Jason, what does that mean? That means that when I move you through a visualization journey of that moment of greatness that you had in the past, and I ask you to look at you, find the moment of success. And then while you're there, observe what you were doing that made you so doggone great at that moment. And then ask yourself, how are you reacting? How are you pacing yourself? And what motivated you at that moment? You were so freaking successful. And then I move you to the future. And I have you to look at you being 10 times better than this person in the past. And you're right there looking at this person, Dr. B. And I'm asking you, wow, you're so successful now. See yourself doing these wonderful things of whatever it is you've chosen to view. This is you in the future. This is you in the present. How are you reacting? How are you pacing yourself? And observe closely what is motivating you to succeed. And as we move these paradigms into the present day, and you find yourself being full of shame, again, Dr. B, the power of being aware of who you are after taking you through these powerful exercises to understand this is who I was in the past. I know a moment where I was great. Here's who I know I'm going to be in the future. In the present day, that's not me. I found greatness in the past. I know greatness, what it looks like in the future. So I'm reacting differently. I'm breathing like a champion. I understand my breath. And I know what motivates me because I've seen it in two different aspects of who I am. So there's no room for shame if you understand the power of self-awareness. Wow.
And what I'm hearing you is talking about is the power of the questions that we ask ourselves, and asking ourselves the right questions and not asking ourselves questions that will lead us down this other path, right? I mean, do you have like sets of questions that, or do you just the way that
you know that they call it smart coaching, smart questions, smart coaching questions? What makes you feel that way? Well, who told you that you had shame? Do you take shame with you on the football field or on the track? Tell me what shame looks like. Well, there are questions you can ask that are quote unquote smart questions. And I do have questions. What would you like to have happen? That's one of the best questions I have. What would you like to have happen?
Yeah.
When you're dealing with this situation. So what would you like to have happen? I want it to go away. So if you could make it go away, how would that look? Just stop thinking about it. Yeah. So you told me in our last session that you saw yourself being great. And you remember the past moment where you were awesome. You are totally aware of who you are. How does that tie in to what you want to have happen?
Yeah.
I need to start thinking of myself as being great, coach. I need to stop thinking about, and a person who lives in the past cannot create their future.
Oh my gosh.
And if you continue to move in that direction and not cognitive, reframe. And every time, John, when you start to think about this moment where you feel like you are dealing with this emotion, I need for you to reframe from that and know that you've seen greatness and you've also experienced it. But, John, you have to choose.
Yeah.
Choose to feel good first. Choose to be green. Now, if you want to be yellow or red when you see this emotion, we need to stay green. These are the tools I'm teaching you, but you have to make a decision. That's how I would deal with that.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. And I'm thinking through that because I'm thinking of the better I became as a coach is because the better questions I was able to ask that allowed them to ask the questions of themselves. And I know it seems like that's a lot of questions, but when I think of, let's say I have a high jumper and he's doing his thing. Now I could run over there and show him the technique. I could run over there and, kind of draw it out and all that kind of stuff. Or I can say, how did that feel? What were you thinking when you were doing this? What now going through your mind right now, sit down, let's replay that in your mind. What are you seeing right now? So now I'm asking questions that he can use when he's getting ready to jump in a competition, when I'm not standing right next to him to ask him all those questions, what he's going through when he's, and so that's what I see that as these questions that we're asking, if we can get our clients or we can get the individual or ourselves to ask those questions of ourselves, to calm down, to take ourselves out of the emotional side of that moment, to do the meditation that you're talking about, and then move into that, whether it's before, a day before, night before. Talk to me. I mean, I see you smiling.
But see, Dr. B, it's the culmination of the entire body of work that I spent so many years developing, and then now moving all of this into a mental performance program where I can use recognizable tools that people don't call woo-woo.
Yeah.
I can use these tools now to affect the mind. And we can use pieces of the International Federation of Coaching, whatever. We can use pieces of these coaching scripts to now ask smart questions. And I've tailored all my stuff and moved away from the traditional.
Yeah.
And but it's the tool bag, Dr. B. My bag of tricks is broad. I have several different ways I can affect you while coaching the group, while transforming myself to coach girls soccer, to come back now to coach a executive who's running a solar energy company, then to come back and now teach a group of clients that are in a supervision and correction facility. And I shift the training only in the bag of tools the way I want to affect the mind. I do not change my core program because I don't have to, because it's universal.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Talk about love, because I know it's something that you love talking about, that you is this
empowered by consciousness.
Okay.
And this book helps you understand the conscious mind, helps you understand hypnosis, helps you understand how to use your conscience to move it to different places, to find things that are unknown to you that can help you in this particular lifetime. Talks about astral projection, talks about remote viewing, talks about the subconscious mind in general, talks about the breath. I give a number of breathwork techniques. Now, how does that infuse with love? Love, when you move it to the center of your heart and you embody it just from within, helps you raise your vibration, helps you raise your frequency to match anything that you want to do. If you want to be great in tennis, then as long as you infuse this love frequency within you, how do you infuse the love frequency within you? Spending more time with yourself, praying, meditating, whatever that looks like for you, quiet time, so you can start to realize how to separate the matrix that we're living in, separate the noise and the crud and the evilness and the racism and all the things that go on in this world from the quiet time that you're experiencing with your God. That peace, that tranquility, that separation from the ego. And you're just being at that moment. And this permeates the frequency of love within you. And once you practice and continue to move yourself in this type of way, then that's love moves through your body. Everybody around you can tell. And I'm not trying to tell you what to say, Dr. B, but you can feel this possibly from me, this level of peace, this level of love, this level of openness. Yeah. And it allows you to think clear, allows you to learn faster. It allows you to get that job because the guy saw something in you. It allows your players to practice harder and to run faster because they're free of anxiety, of stress, of anything that could hold them back just by practicing the frequency of love.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is such good stuff. And
Yes,
how much time should a person, because I believe people should work on themselves and working on themselves. And you're talking about a lot of that time. I'm saying the formula I've come up is about 20% of your time should be working on you, because that's how you can be most effective with others. For some of it's a little bit less, maybe for some of it's a little bit more. But portion of this has to be this breathing and meditation. It's not just I'm going to go to school and I'm going to learn a whole bunch of stuff. That's not just. I think when people think of like personal development, they think it's I got to go get a class real quick. I got to go have somebody tell me what I need to do. Learn more, go to school, that kind of stuff. In your mind, how much of that personal development time should be working on some of the things that you're talking about?
I'm with you, 20%. I tell my clients, just spend 20 minutes a day.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah.
And it could be meditation that day. It could be working on emotional control tools like EFT tapping. It could be working on different things with the breath. 628, 444, box breathing, whatever the technique is for the day. It could be some a worksheet I've given you that helps you self-realize. It could be a time management worksheet that helps you organize yourself so that you can gain clarity with your schedule, which helps you be in tune with what you're doing. It could be a habit tracking sheet that I've given you. Track bad habits. You're only self-realizing what you're doing. These are the times that you're spending with yourself. You don't have to be a Buddha and be quiet. We need for you to spend time with you and cut the cell phone off. Cut off the doggone TV. And this time is for you to self-realize.
Yeah.
And that's what coaching is about. If we can get you to see yourself. And now you can see the changes. Dang, I'm lazy. I keep forgetting. I can see now, Dr. B. Man,
yeah.
You help me self-realize who I am. Man, I'm about to go work on this, man.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do.
Yeah. And then some of those distractions that, like you said, that stop us from working on ourselves, or that we allow, the distraction of the television. We'll just turn it on and just mindlessly have it on for what? What if you did begin to start turning it off? Or, sometimes we get it. I love sports. I know you love sports. We were both professional athletes. We understand sports, right? But if I know all the statistics of Patrick Mahomes and, with Michael Jordan or LeBron James or whoever is Stephen Curry, whoever these athletes are, but I'm not working on me, that it just seems like I have to shift that thought process of going, until I can work on me, I can't be what I need to be in order to help others. I mean, right? I mean, in order to, or even have my life be better if I'm not working on me all the time.
Right? I started off with the coaching with the one simple question I said a minute ago. This is every coach should ask this before you start. What would you like to have happen?
What would you like to have happen?
What would you like to have happen?
Yeah. And then listen.
After they've told you the whole story.
Yeah.
Okay. So what would you like to have happen?
Yeah. And then when you
write there,
you
tailor the program around.
Yeah. And then when they go, but I don't know how to make it happen. Are you willing to listen to me so I can help you get there?
Yeah. But I need to know what you would like to have happen. And once I can get that, because coaching is about listening.
Yeah.
And hypnosis is about listening first and in intake forms and get the intake form. And so, okay, tell me about it. I'm all ears.
Yeah.
And listen and listen. I never take notes. Never take notes when I'm speaking to a client because it builds trust.
Yeah, no, when you're paying attention.
You never take notes. Yeah. And as I listen and I keep listening and I listen, and I think that's about it, Coach. Awesome. Anything else?
Yeah.
That's about it. So what would you like to have happen? And all the things that you told me, tell me what you want to happen. I just want more confidence. Okay. When you committed to it. Yeah, I'm going to walk you through a series of tools, and this is how we're going to do it. Because you said that you wanted this. I'm going to show you how I need for you to stay engaged and to follow my steps. So I do have coaching scripts. I have a number of different things, different scenarios for baseball players, football players, track. So I have a different conversation that I've scripted on how I want to lead it And then from there, I just move to where it goes, and I figure out which tool they need. And then I teach them how to use it. And then I use worksheets to reinforce and to make themselves realize, oh, it's me.
Yeah.
Oh, and I got to stop doing this.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm going to use to stop doing whatever this is. And here's the tool I'm going to use. I'm going to do breath work when I feel this emotion. I'm going to tap. If I feel it in my gut that I'm nervous, then I'm going to come back. And now I'm going to cognitive reframe from negative self-talk to positive self-talk when I do this or say this to myself. So in the book, The Game of Tennis, the guy talks about who's talking to who. Damn it, Dr. B, you messed up, Dr. B. You got to get that right. Who are you talking to, Dr. B? Dr. B1 or Dr. B2? Dr. B1 is talking crap to Dr. B2, but who's talking to who? Oh, the conscious mind is talking to the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind is taking orders, strict, hardcore orders from Dr. B1. Yeah. But the subconscious mind doesn't know how to respond to that, so Dr. B1 is always harder and harder. You got to get this right. Man, we messing up, we lose. You then have to parse and have more empathy with Dr. B2.
Yeah. So
that you can deliver that message a little differently. The conscious mind, which is Dr. B number 1, man, we got to work harder. Yeah. We got to get our bodies in shape. The subconscious mind, which is Dr. B number 2, then responds and starts to get going. And I like this analogy. It's Tim Galloway. I like the analogy that he has in the book. Who's talking to who?
Who's talking to who? That makes so much sense.
Yeah. I think it's the mental game of tennis.
Yeah. No. Okay. Gotcha. I haven't read that one, but oh my gosh. Well, we are at. I mean, we've been taught. This has been such.
We'll keep going forever.
Yeah. What do you want to make sure that we didn't talk about? That you want to make sure everybody knows how to get a hold of you. Whatever it is that you want to make sure as we kind of. Oh my gosh, it's been a great conversation. I've learned so much. This is
if you want to work with me in a number of capacities, I said I'm a hypnotherapist. I'm a mental performance coach. I have a sports hypnosis program. You can reach me at Jason Medlock, MEDLOCK.com. If you just want mental performance tools, our website is simple. TheMentalGamePlan.com. TheMentalGamePlan.com. So you can reach me there, and I have 3 things I want to leave with the audience.
Okay, please.
Trust your intuitiveness. Trust your instincts. Trust yourself to be the very best you can be. Mm-hmm. Relax. And once you start to gain this trust, relax. Don't let stressful situations come to you. Don't let that emotion come to you and control you. Learn to relax. And then discover the possibilities of rewiring the brain, of creating new neural pathways. Discover the unlimited power you have when you can connect with yourself, trust, relax, and discover.
All right. Well, you guys have heard it. Trust, relax, discover. This has been an amazing conversation. I hope you realize, because I didn't know this at first, that you can rewind and go back and listen to all of the things that Jason has been talking about today, and it's been incredible. If this is the first show that you've seen of this series, The Journey to Freedom, there are some amazing episodes with some amazing men. Go ahead and hit the notification button, the subscribe button, so you're being able to partake, because I think we are better together than we are apart. If we know more about each other, we know about how we can love on each other and be loved, this world can be such a better place. And if we can learn what others have done, we got a great example of this man who was in, as an athlete, was a professional athlete, and then became into corporate America and was successful there. And now he's giving back and he's helping you. So I encourage you to call him. I encourage you to, go to his website, find exactly what he can do to help you be able to move forward. And I hope you realize that you are God's greatest gift. He loves you if you allow him to, and that you can be all you can be. And so our goal is to help you become the person that you are meant to be. You guys have an amazing, awesome, just incredible, awestruck day today. And we will talk to you on the next one. Thank you so much, Jason. It's been so incredible. We'll talk to you
Awesome,
later.
Dr. B.
All right.
Thank you.